from insurance salesman to Hollywood fixture. I bet you didn't know that your president, Donald J. Trump, was a millionaire by the age of 3. I'm going to tell you a lot more about our president and his wife, Melania. Okay? So, folks, as you come in here, please subscribe, like, share, show me everything. Okay? Well, we got to wait for some people to come here. Okay? So, I've been watching movies. Yesterday was Mother's Day, by the way. And I hope all you mothers had a great day with your children, your family. Okay? And, you all deserve it. All right? From my heart, I love you all. Yesterday, I spent the day fairly quiet, watched a couple movies. And, we're talking a lot about war. And people don't understand what war really is. And I want to tell you a little bit. There's a movie called We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson. Where is everybody today? I know, gotta wait for people to come here. Where are you, Mandy? Who do we have in here? We got one person here. Got Agent Orange. Good morning, Agent Orange. Good afternoon, Agent Orange. Okay. I don't know why it's so slow for people to come in here today. They must be busy. Well, we had 2 Agent Orange. One guy left. Okay. That's your mentality of people who don't want to learn things in life. Okay. Oh, it's lunchtime. Well, I thought that'd be a good time. It's not lunchtime in New York and or other places. Okay. Well, anyways, folks, I'll tell you, people don't understand what war is. And if you really want to learn about war, you got to watch the movie We Were Soldiers. It's a 2002 movie, and it's based on a true story about the 1965 Battle of La Drang in Vietnam, the first major engagement between U.S. and North Vietnamese forces. While it accurately depicts the intense, brutal nature of the combat and is based on a memoir by the commanding officer, who was played by Mel Gibson. Some events were dramatized or altered for the film, which they do many times. Okay? The film is adapted from the book We Were Soldiers, Once and Young by Lieutenant General Harold G. Moore, played by Mel Gibson, and Joseph Galloway, who was present at the battle. Folks, this is documented information, and it was terrible. It's another war that we should not have been in. We lost thousands and thousands and thousands of young men. There's Mandy. Folks, it was terrible. If you really want to watch a movie, you want to see soldiers, how they get killed, how they get blown up, okay, you got to watch this movie. And don't think, all right, it would be any better in Iran, okay? You got to remember something. Wars are not won by air. Air is very strategic, very helpful, okay, could destroy, buildings and all sorts of things, but the battles are won on the battlefield with soldiers. That's how they won. You got to watch that movie. So I wanted to share that with you because that's something that Donald Trump, our president, does not know, nor will he ever know. All right, now let's get into it a little bit here. All right. Yeah, Big Front Jones, we got all sorts of different things. Okay. Yes, I voted for Trump. I admit that, folks. Okay. I believed what he said he was going to do. And that's why I voted for him. I really seriously believed it. Folks, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, okay, please. All right? Mega supporters love Trump. A lot of people love him. Okay, you could love him, you could hate him, whatever it is, I don't care. Okay? I don't stick my head up anybody's ass. Okay, I don't do that. Okay? But let's talk about how many of you were a millionaire by the age of 3? Okay? How many of you? Leave me a comment. Tell me how many of you were a millionaire by the age of 3? All right? Yeah, well, Trump was the only vote we had. Okay? We didn't have much choice, folks. Maybe those people we lost on the battlefield, some of the young soldiers, would have been president, senators, congressmen, okay? But they're gone, okay? People love Ronald Reagan, by the way, who I knew personally. I could say that I knew President Ronald Reagan, okay? But we're talking about President Trump today, all right? According to the New York Times investigation, Donald Trump began receiving financial help from his father, Fred Trump, as a toddler, becoming a millionaire by the age of 3. But let's get to that. Who was his father? His father's name was Fred Trump. He was a developer in Queens, New York. For those of you who don't know New York, you hear New York and you think the whole state. All right? New York City is really comprised of 5 boroughs. Okay? Manhattan is at one time was the wealthiest. Okay? That's changing dramatically. I think Brooklyn has surpassed it. But his father, Fred Trump, a massive developer of apartment buildings in Queens. And for tax reasons and so forth, started putting money into his children's accounts, which made Donald a millionaire by the age of 3. Okay? We're not blessed by that. Remember, Donald Trump was brought up in a home with a butler, a chef, a driver, every amenity you could possibly think of. I don't know if Donald Trump's ever been in a grocery store. All right? I don't think so. Why would he be? He doesn't need to go. Affordability with President Trump is not a problem. Now, he got a lot of money through the years from his father. Right up before his father passed away, he got $450 million. $450 million from his father. That's a hell of a start for anybody. And, he got his name on a lot of buildings. He didn't own them. He managed them. A lot of the buildings in New York. He built hotels. He owns golf courses. Yeah, he's done a lot of great things. Okay? But he doesn't know about war. He doesn't know about affordability. because he could afford anything that he wants. Trump was receiving income from trust funds set up by his father and grandmother as early as age 3. By age 8, I take that back, age 8, he was already a millionaire through trust and partnerships. Age 8. Trump often Trump has often cited a 1 million loan to start his business, a figure that argues is a low ball of the actual assistance received. Times revealed a long-term influx of cash with notable increases in the 1960s and 70s and 80s, totaling at least $413 million. A detailed look at the financial tax-related and real estate-based support provided by Fred Trump, as reported by the New York Times, reveals how Trump became a millionaire by age 8 with his father's support continuing in the 1990s. Folks, what the freak does he know about affordability? Nothing. Oh no, he's nothing like Reagan. Reagan was a class act, okay? Chris, Ronald Reagan was a class act. Trump has no class, okay? He brags, he threatens women left and right. You see what he does with all these women reporters? Are you for that? You think that's cool? All right? And you know, somebody wrote me and said, I got TDS. Well, they're full of shit. I don't have TDS. Because I come here, I talk about facts. I give you my feelings, that's my thoughts. You either like it or you don't. And you could hit that button, you could hit the thumbs up, or you could hit the thumbs down. Huh? Trump, Fred, he didn't make his money by winning. What the freak has he won? Okay? Do you know that they didn't, all these big, lavish fundraisers they have in New York City, you're probably not aware of it. You know they stopped inviting Donald Trump because he never donated. Okay? No, you didn't know that. A lot of things you don't know about Donald Trump. I'm not putting the guy down. But Donald Trump don't have one bit of street smarts. But you know who does? His wife, Melania. Now there's a class act. She keeps her mouth shut. She tries to stay in the background. Hey, SBA Matt from the UK. How are you doing? Huh? He slams the press. Look at the press today is not like the press was years ago. Okay, and you got cable news with these pundits who don't know shit. Okay, and then they bring in their experts. They're experts, not the real experts in the field. All right, they bring the people in who get paid big money to come in to say what they want. Donald Trump has no street smarts. And I'm going to say that again, Ronald. Okay? You think you know him. You don't know him. But Melania does. Do you know what Melania did with her son, Barron? She brought him to a grocery store. She brought him to a grocery store so that he could see how other people live. And he went crazy. He loved it. He said, "I'm going to buy this. And he filled the cart. See, affordability is no problem for Donald Trump or his children. All right? Yeah, you saw Donald Trump when he ran for office. You saw him in that big, bright, shiny garbage truck. Look on your street at the garbage trucks that come pick up your garbage. Are they shiny? I doubt it. Not mine, and I live in Beverly Hills. Okay? Oh, he went to a McDonald's and flipped a burger or something. Put an apron on for 3 minutes. Good scenes. It showed. People liked it. Yeah, they said, oh, this guy's like us. Donald Trump's not like you. Okay? And that's what people don't understand. They think he's such a good businessman. If you're such a good businessman, how do you go bankrupt owning casinos? Huh? How do you go bankrupt owning casinos? Folks, that's almost an impossibility to do. But he did. I mean, look, anybody who's successful has a lot of failures, and you got to have the failure in order to become successful. That part I will acknowledge. All right. Somebody asked me, where do I get the? I research. I read. I'm not like everybody else. Okay. I'm an old man, 81 years old, but I read. I study. Okay. And for those who don't know, you wouldn't know. History was my best subject. I loved it. Okay? I studied history. When I was in high school, I was top of my class in history. The other courses was bullshit to me. I didn't like them, all right? Hmm. Thank you for your respect, TT Death. All right? I appreciate that. See, folks, Trump wants loyalty. And he's getting it from these people that he surrounded himself with. But the problem is, folks, Trump doesn't know how to be loyal. Okay? He demands loyalty. He demands respect. You don't get that by demanding it. You gotta live. You gotta be an example. Okay? Oh, come on, Frankie. What president does it? Okay, look how Ronald Reagan got it. Look how other president got it. They didn't ask for it. Okay? Because they earned it. There's a difference. And this is what's the problem with our country today. Okay? People want everything instantly. Okay? They want everything in 3 seconds. That's the average attention span of our children today because of social media. All right? Oh, Trump lies like crazy. And he believes it. He believes it. He believes it. Sherpy, that's not going to happen, Sherpy. Okay? They're not going to remove him. They're going to try if the Democrats take over. All right? If things stand the way they do today, the midterms, the Republicans are going to lose terribly. But don't forget, that could change quickly. All right? Now, people are saying that Donald Trump, all the YouTubers are saying they got these doctors and saying he's got beginning dementia and all this shit. I don't believe that there either. Okay? Alright? What I think he is tired. He is exhausted. Okay? Because he got himself into something in this war that he thought was going to be short term. He's going to get in and get out. Okay? Yeah, Trump wants to talk. He talks about God. He talks about the Bible. He tried selling Bibles. People bought them. Okay? You talk about my bruised hands. You're right, Joe D. Okay? He's being controlled by Israel, as our Congress, both sides, both sides, Democratic, Republicans, and Independents, are controlled. They all receive money from AIPAC, which is money from Israel. So what do you think they're going to do? You see, it's not only President Trump who don't give a shit about us, but it's the people you're voting for that you put in Congress and Senate, and they don't care about you. Oh, they tell you they're going to do stuff, get your vote, all right, and all that stuff. But tell me, do you see them doing it? No. And you're not going to. They're concerned with one thing: how much money they could bag in today. That's what they do. They make money from pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies, okay? Everything that we're being paying for, everything that insurance. Let me show you something, folks. Hang on. Hang on, folks. Look at this here. This rule when I was in the hospital. Okay? Thank God I got insurance. I paid, I got Medicare, and plus I got the extra parts, and I pay almost $400 a month for it. Okay? Look at these bills. All right? Part B. $1,158. Okay? Went to this. Who did that go to? Now, thank God I don't have to pay anything here. Okay? 1158. 125. There's doctors' names on here that I don't know who the hell they are. I don't know who they are. All right? 287. All right? There's a doctor, Ian Lauren. I don't know who the freak this guy is. $630 when I was in the hospital. I never saw him. Okay? You gotta see, look at your bills. Doctors. Samuelson, 425. Samuelson, 425. Samuelson, 425. You know what that guy did? 5 days, he billed $425. He did it 5 days in a row. There's 5 bills for it. He peeked in my door, looked at me, and left. He didn't say, good morning, how you feeling? All right? None of that. Peeked in the door. I don't know who the hell he is. He's not my doctor. But he's on the staff at the hospital. $425 5 times here. Okay? Doctor Morzada. Can't even say it. All right, goes on and on. All right? 5 days in the hospital, over $150,000. Now imagine if you don't have insurance and you have to pay for that. Okay? Yeah. And Trump wants to blame. All right, that's a good comment there. Uh, Sharif, did I say your name right? Okay, SCRIPH. Yes, everything has doubled since Donald Trump's been in office. But he always blaming Biden. Biden's been gone. Trump's been in office 15 months. He said he was going to change everything day one. He was going to make grocery store. He can't make prices affordable in grocery stores. He doesn't have that power. The only ones that have that in power are the shareholders of these massive grocery store chains that we purchase from. And the only thing they're concerned about is profits. So tariffs come in, boom! It's not COVID. COVID's history. Get over it. Not COVID. Tariffs. Everything went up. The war. I don't have to tell you what's going on with gas, do I? Okay, you know what the price of gas, huh? But they're not doing anything about the insurance. Republicans always talk about the Obama bill and or Obama insurance, whatever that was. Okay, and they're going to improve and improve. They haven't come up with a plan yet. You know how many years it's been, folks? They haven't come up with a plan on how to do it. You know why? They're being paid by the insurance companies. But you don't know that, okay? I do, okay? Oh, prescription drugs, pharmaceutical company. You see a doctor. See, this is what I love about the VA. Okay, the doctors at the VA come from UCLA. They're doing their residency. Most of them doing their residency here at the VA. So I'm blessed to be able to get them. And they're not prescription happy yet. See, because they haven't got there. Once they get in private office, okay, they see the money they can make, all right, from writing prescriptions. All right? 57% of physicians receive payments from drug or device companies over the past decade. 57% of them. So when they write a prescription, they get paid. Now that's illegal. But how do they do it? All right. The drug companies say it was uh, speaking fees, consulting, that they're reimbursing for meals or travel. All right. Yeah, it's how they do it. And they get over the law. See, laws are there, but there's a lot of ways you could break the law. All right. You ever go to a doctor's office? You're sitting there in the waiting room, and you see somebody coming in dragging a little suitcase. Normally, they're pretty girls. Okay? They don't have to wait. They get right in. They're the salespeople for the pharmaceutical companies. They make good money. Damn good money. They get right in. Tell the doctors about a new pill. Start prescribing this. Okay? So there's all sorts of ways. And we, the people, are the ones getting screwed every single second. Gasoline. Now this thing keeps up. No shift capacitor to Hormuz Strait over there in Iran. They're figuring here in California, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, there might not be gas at the gas stations. Okay? Because they're not getting new gasoline. And if some gas does get through, some tankers get through, we might start at the waiting in line at the gas station. Do any of you remember? All right? You remember in the late 70s, early 80s, where you had to wait and get a line at the gas station to put gas in your car? Hmm? Thank you, Annabelle. How are you today? All right, capital obvious. I'm not paying. I have insurance to pay, but I don't like to see my insurance company get robbed. Okay? So pharmaceutical companies, hospitals, everybody in healthcare, all right, are taking advantage of Medicare, Medicaid, and all these other things and overbilling. And now we got doctors here. I don't know if you folks got it. Okay, we got doctors that are asking $1,500 to $2,000 a year. They call it a concierge fee. Folks, hit that subscribe button, please, and like, okay? All right, show me some love, folks. All right, I got asked for it. Let's hit that like button, get me to 100. You know how it works, okay? So, folks, one thing I would say, I'm feeling like $1 million today, right? But I drive around town. I see stores shutting down, restaurants can't stay in business. Everybody wants to make more money. Can't blame them. All right, our labor market. People that work at McDonald's, people that work at restaurants, they want higher wages. And guess what happens when they get the higher wages? Guess who pays for that there? You do. Because the restaurants, the stores, they got no choice but to increase the cost of the product or the food. They have to in order to stay in business. So we are the ultimate ones who pay when all these things happen. You want more, you gotta pay more. I use my coffee as an example because I love my coffee. I drink it black. Okay. I have 4 mugs in the morning to begin with. Okay. I used to pay $6.99. $6.99. Now it is $10.99. Went up in the past 2 weeks. $3. That's a 30% increase. 30%, folks. Who the freak can go to the grocery stores anymore? People used to bitch when they go and had to feed a family of four, and they were able to afford it. Maybe they spend $100 a week. You can't do that no more. Shit, you go in the grocery store, you buy 4 or 5 things, it's going to be $100. Keep hitting that like button, folks. Keep hitting that like button and subscribe, please. Okay? Trump's going to go and visit China. You know who buys the most oil from Iran? And they get it cheaper? Okay? See, this is another thing you don't understand that's happening in the world. The American dollar used to be the most valuable money in the world. It no longer is. Now I think it's called the yen. Okay? And that's what they're charging for oil now. It's not in the American dollar. They're charging it in yens. I think it's yens if it's whatever the China dollar is. That's what they're using now. Okay? So what happens, folks? The American dollar gets devalued. Alright? America, we were once the greatest country on earth. We're only going to be 250 years old. 250. To you and me, that sounds like a long time. But let's go back in time. Iran was Persia. They're over 2,500 years old. Let me repeat that. They are over 2,500 years older. 10 times older than the United States. They know how to negotiate. They know how to fight. They're sharp. Everybody wants to say you can't trust them. But on the other side, they don't trust us. So you got two sides that you got to bring together, and both sides don't trust each other. All right? Now, look at what Iran asked for. Supposedly, I didn't see the paper. Donald Trump turned it down. Of course he would. They don't want to give up their nuclear weapon. They don't have a weapon yet. They don't have it. They want to make it. They want to become a nuclear power. Well, folks, look at where is North Korea? They got nuclear. China, they have nuclear. Russia, they have nuclear. How many other countries have nuclear? Who are we to tell somebody they can't have it? That's their country. It's not our country. So maybe there's something I'm missing. Okay? And I keep hearing people and they want to throw it at my face and they say, look at all the people that they killed over in Iran. Okay, they killed with their own people for protesting. That's their business. I don't want to see anybody getting killed in any country. But that's their business. It's not our business. And when I say our, I mean the United States of America. Now, why does Israel don't have the power or the strength to be able to take over those countries? They want to take over every country over there. Iran, Afghan, all right, the Lebanon, Turkey. They want to take them all because now wants more land, okay? Folks, keep hitting that like button, please, okay? And folks, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? It don't cost you a penny, okay? Don't cost you anything to hit that like button either. Uh, Stacy, how are you, kid? There's my Stacy Holtz. How are you? Great Stacy. Stacy, I see her every day. God bless you. Okay? The price of gas is throughout the whole world, folks. This is not a problem that we're just having here in the United States. This is throughout the world. Okay, that's what it's affecting. And this is why Trump's in such a dilemma. Okay, he knows he messed up, but he's not going to come out and admit it. Okay, he'll call you stupid or something. All right, and he goes, oh, they got low IQ. Well, tell us what your IQ is, President Trump. Okay, tell us what your IQ is. See, that's another thing. He doesn't want to show you a tax return, and he doesn't want you to know what his IQ is. Okay, I'll tell you what mine is. Mine's 127. Check it out, 127. Okay, I'm not genius. I'm not dumb. 127 is a good number. All right. No, TT, that I understand what you're saying there. Okay, I wish Donald Trump would start concentrating on the United States of America, on our country, not other countries. We've given hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars away to all these other countries. The Ukraine, look what the freak going on there. You don't hear about it too much no more. But that war is still going on. Russia just bombed the shit out of them again. Okay? We don't hear much, but we just keep giving money. Why not put that money here in the United States of America? We need it here, folks. Every state, every city, farmers. Farmers are hurting. Farmers are hurting. They can't find people to pick their crops. So what's happening? The crops that do get picked cost more money. Who pays for it? You do. I do. You understand how it goes? You gotta understand this, folks. Take a moment. I beg you all. Now, I don't like to beg. Do some studying, reading, learn so you know what's really happening. Don't believe these people you see on the news, what they're saying, okay? They go 724, somebody rotating every single hour with the same story, just in a different voice. But people listen to it. You know, it's funny, I got a friend, she lives in, told you about her before, she lives in Boca Raton, Florida. Okay, she used to live here. Yeah. She's glued to Fox News. She's glued to Fox News. She'll tell me something like it's her idea, but she got it from Fox. And then you got other people who watch just CNN. You could tell folks, broaden your horizon. You got other networks. Listen to Al Jazeera. Watch BBC News. You got a lot of good people here on YouTube. Listen to the other side of the story. You got to know the other side. Then you make a decision. I told you, I just had to vote here in California. Well, in Los Angeles. Actually, Beverly Hills. Uh, and I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest with you. You know how bad things are here in California. I don't know. Anybody here, anybody else from California, folks, do me a favor, okay? Send me a comment. What city and state that that you're watching me from, so I can have a better idea of who I'm talking to. Okay, I appreciate that there. What the hell is going on? People, kept coming from down the Capitol. All right, there's a million photographers. Oh, it's the football champs at the White House. Okay, all right. But I want to know where you folks are from, and I appreciate it. Leave me a comment there. Uh, I lost my train of thought. I apologize. These things happen. Uh, well, I get it back. The United States is a great country. I love it here. I think of how I grew up, my childhood. It's totally different, but we gotta get accustomed to change. We may not like change, but we gotta get accustomed to because that's the way it is. Uh, but I was talking about Donald Trump, Melania, his wife. She's got street smarts in her. Yeah, not her husband. And there's a big difference. It's great to have the intellect, but have the street smarts that go with it. And that's the kind of person I want to find to become our next president. What do you think about that? Okay? Something that you don't know about me, and I didn't write in my book. But when I had my company, the Ori Agency, I was doing millions of dollars a year, folks. I was very well known in the business. I was a pioneer in the automobile after sale. I used to train people, and I had a school. I had a real school where automobile dealers, insurance companies sent their people, and I trained them. I made a lot of people millionaires. A lot of people. Where are they today when I can use them? Okay? They're not around. And that's good. I hope they're happy. I want everybody to be happy. I don't wish any ill fate on nobody. And I don't have Trump disorder syndrome or whatever they call it. Okay? Notice how he's getting more bald. You got to notice these little things, see? Okay, but his barber blade that cut it here, it's a lot different today. All right, because it's getting really thin. But so what? I'm bald too. Okay, it happens when you get old. Why try to hide it? Okay, let it happen. All right? You ever lived through easy economic times at the expense of the poverty of future young people? Hmm. That's a tough question there. I can be honest, I don't understand it, Timothy. Ever lived through easy economic times at the expense of the poverty of the future young people? I think you should rephrase that question a little bit. Folks, just hit that like button. Come on. Okay? But going back to Melania Barron, I think she's a great young gentleman. She's a lot different than Donald and Eric. Okay, Donald and Eric, they had different mothers. Who's that daughter that Donald Trump's got? We don't hear from her much. You know, Ivanka, she's married to Jared Kushner. Okay. Who's his other daughter from another wife? She stays out of the limelight. Very smart girl. Staying out of the limelight. She don't want to get caught in all this crap. Okay? What do you think's going to happen when Trump meets with the president of China? What do you think's going to happen there? You know, they're going to be talking about Iran. They got to be. Because China supports Iran. China's a world power. So Donald Trump calls him his buddy. Well, he called Putin his buddy too. Yeah, remember that? Putin's his best friend. Yeah, I'll start that war day one when I take office. Hasn't happened, has it? Oh, and the American people believe this shit. And I come here to try to tell you the truth. Maybe I'm the fool. I don't know. Maybe I study too much and maybe I read too much. But I'll guarantee you one thing. I'm 81 years old. All right? It's 1:30 here, Pacific Standard Time. I bet you that I have done more between the hours of 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. than any younger people have done. You want to bet? I get things done. I do things when I say I'm going to do them. If I say I'm going to do something, I freaking do it. All right? How many people you know to do that, folks? Well, meet me because I do that. I'm a communicator. I receive a phone call, I call back. I don't care if I know you or I don't know you. All right? I answer every single phone call. I prefer talking than texting. Our own citizen isn't negotiating. No, they don't. Okay? Because they don't know how. Negotiation's an art. Donald Trump doesn't know how to negotiate. Why do you think he says he's the best negotiator and you believe him? This guy's a realtor, not a negotiator. Yeah, he might be able to negotiate over a price when he's buying something. Yeah, that's a negotiation. But he didn't do the kind of negotiating that I did as the Hollywood fixer. No way did he do that. See, the art of negotiation, you got to sit down with people, sit across the table from them. You don't see Donald Trump going talking to the Iranians. You don't see him. He's sending his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and his buddy Witkoff, two real estate people, two real estate people. Keep hitting that like button. Hit that like, hit that like. Okay? Real estate people, folks. You all know somebody in real estate. They're not negotiators. They can negotiate a price, but they can't make peace. They don't know how. Now, Trump is sitting down face to face with whoever ahead or the leader in the Iranian thing. All right, if he went to Pakistan himself, because he sent Vance, Vance was on the telephone with him 12 times. 12. Not once, 12. But he also called Bibi Netanyahu of Israel. Why is he calling Bibi Netanyahu? Why is J.D. Vance in negotiation to try to make peace, sitting there with Kushner and Wickoff? You know what they're doing? This is big money. Somewhere, somehow, along the line, money's going to flow. And that's where Kushner and Wickoff come in. It could be $20 billion, and they're going to get 5, 10 points on that. You know how many? Well, how much? How much is 5 points on $20 billion? Just 1 billion. A lot of money. People don't understand this either. I know it's difficult, folks. Okay, I know it's not easy to understand what's really going on in this country, and this is why we should be throwing our telephones away. Everybody go back to a landline and start communicating like real people do. Not all this social media junk, me included. So, folks, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. Okay? Gas stations close stores. Gas stations are closing, might close down, folks. There might not be any gas. Okay? I topped my gasoline the other day. All right? Need to move a little bit, I go. Even if I need a gallon of gas, I want to make sure I'm full all the time. Okay? Because we don't know what's going to happen. All right? See, we got a lot of new people that just came in here, and I want to thank you for coming. And if you haven't caught the whole show, hit the replay button. All right, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Okay, we're at 89. Could we get 11 more likes over here, folks? I think we could do that there. What do you think? Huh? What do you think, folks? Huh? I said 89. It's 88. Somebody give me how many thumbs down? It doesn't show me how many thumbs down I get. Somebody gave me $2. I didn't see that either. Whoever gave me the $2, I want to thank you. Okay? I appreciate it. There is a thanks button if you want to help me out. Show you a little bit of love. Don't be shy. Okay? And some of you asked me for my PayPal. All right? Mandy's posted it. It's up there in my profile. So that's all there. And for those of you who want to buy a book, just to let you know, the book is available in Audible and Kindle also, because I know a lot of you don't read, but you listen. Okay, you can buy it in Audible. All right? Uh, Plus, you ever scroll through and watch these, so much, so many liars on social media. I don't understand how YouTube allowed that. Okay? I mean, people making up shit. It's never happened, never going to happen. I can't understand how, and then everybody wants to use, they got their own show, but they're showing you what other people have shown. Now, I don't even know how to do that, and if I did, I wouldn't do it. I come to you as Rory Spado, the accidental gangster. You get me, you get nobody else, unless, sometimes I do interviews on it. Uh, I had a nice studio in Brentwood, but the owner, he got very ill, and so his family's closed down the studio. So any interviews I do from now on are going to be on Zoom or StreamYard once I learn how to do that. Okay. My son's going to teach me again how to use StreamYard so I can go live here and on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. Technology and me, we're not the greatest friends in the world. Trust me. Okay. Hey, folks, 3 more likes. Can we do it? Come on, 3 more likes. Huh? We're getting there, folks. 97. Alright? I don't know why 100 is my magic number. Let's hope I can live to 100 or beyond. What do you think? Huh? I'm waiting for, I had a good blood this morning, and I'm waiting for the results to come back on that there. Well, we're at 102. Well, thank you so much. All right, we still got 51 people here. Um, it's funny, the longer I'm on, the more people to come. I should do one of these shows all day long and show you people exactly how I live and everything else. You know, I'm no different than any of you folks are. We're all the same as far as, I don't care what color, what nationality, what religion. Okay? I respect everybody. I don't have an ounce of hatred for anybody. Some people I don't like the people who ratted against me, okay? But I don't hate them. Hate's not a good thing, folks. You know the most two powerful words? Hate and love. Isn't that funny? Hate and love are two of the most powerful words in the English dictionary. They're very powerful. I like to stick with love. And I love you all. I want to thank you all for coming here. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come listen to me. One thing with me, I'm not going to bullshit you. I got nothing to bullshit you about. When I talk to you, I know what I said. So tomorrow, if you ask me what I said, I know about it. So I don't lie. No, I'll tell you the truth, no matter what. Because the truth will set you free. So, folks, keep hitting that like button. No sense in stopping. Okay. And Mandy, who gave me that $2 so I could thank them? Okay. And see if I hit there and if it tells me. No, don't. Okay, well, I'll find it later and be able to thank that person who hit that thanks button and gave me that $2. Okay. All right, folks. What am I going to do now at 1:35 in the afternoon, Monday? I 80 something degrees here in Los Angeles today. We're getting warm weather, and I love it when the sun is shining. There's a little breeze, uh, maybe more than a little breeze, and it stops now. It goes, okay. Uh, uh, the thing is, well, Trump thinks he holds the cards on this Iran thing when Iran is holding the charges. All right. This is funny. It's getting funny, actually. Okay? Not funny for us because we're the ones that suffer. Uh, but, if you listen to the experts and we go into war and we got to send our troops in, we're in deep shit. Iran is not Iraq. It's much bigger. Plus, it's all mountainous. Okay? So they could hide much easier than the Iraqis were able to. And it would not be a good for our soldiers on the battlefield. Will we eventually win? Yes. If it came an all-out World War III, yes, we would. But you notice other countries are not joining us. Other countries don't like what we're doing. Okay? And Trump is dismantling NATO. National Alliance Treaty Organization, for those of you who don't know what it is. He's breaking that apart. And he's pissed because he feels they should have came and support him in this war. They know this war should not be happening. They know the truth about this war. All the presidents for the last 47 years, when people want to tell me that, oh, Trump's the only one who had the balls to go do it. No, it's not that he had the balls, folks. It's that he's the only one to believe Bibi Netanyahu. The other presidents didn't. The other presidents listened to their advisors. They listened to the intel that they got from our CIA, not the lies coming. Now Netanyahu is saying they got weapons of mass destruction. Does that sound familiar to you? That's what they said Iraq had too. But Iraq had none. You understand how this is going, folks? Trump's listening to Israel and to their Mossad. Why? Keep hitting that like button because I'll be coming back tomorrow with more information. And put your notifications on, okay? So that when I begin my show, you could be here. And then you don't have to ask me what I said. We got 43 people here. All right, could we get 10 more likes from you? All right, come on. Keep hitting that like button, folks. All right, keep hitting it. Why do I have to tell you to hit that like button? I like every show, and I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch more YouTube than I do TV nowadays. Because there's some great, you got to know what you're watching, what you're listening to. Be careful. You don't want to get caught talking to these AI things. Okay? A lot of them use that AI. All right? And if you notice, some of them down there say it's AI. So you can't believe everybody that you see. All right? All right, folks. I'm going to get myself something to eat. And I want to wish you all a great day. All my love and respect to you all. God bless you all. Take care.